Alright, so building material, we only need two. Oh, well, Miyu's got something. Excellent. Okay. So, here's what we will do. Operating the farms is top priority. Let's see, if we go into... I think it's AI, actually. If we go over here... Shoot first, ask questions later. Very important. Rescue allies, help allies, heal allies. Ditching items, yeah, that's important. If you're having a problem where people are only filling up like one or only grabbing one item, then ditch items makes it so where they will get rid of those. But if they have backpacks, it shouldn't actually be an issue. Now let's also have a food box. We would have a cooking stove, but we can make more money with sake and then buy food. So that's not really an issue. Food store. There we go. We'll just put this right over there. Okay, sounds good. Okay, guys. Go over here. And let's dump out everyone's inventories. Because I want people to not necessarily carry a bunch of crap around that they don't need. Okay, that's for you. You already have one, you have one, and you have one. Excellent. Okay, so you're good. Let's dump all of that in there. Let's dump all this food in there. Okay, excellent. People will now eat. We can't put that in there because not everybody can eat it. All right. So, yeah, these will grow. And then, useful things will start to happen. We'll be able to make fuel, we'll be able to make fire, we'll be able to make that which we desire, and everything will be nice. Okay. Now, then we're going to get rid of these for the ninjas. Because the ninjas would ideally be out fighting and doing their thing and getting better. Though engineering when they're here is probably useful. Workers, however, managing the farms would be very important. However, everyone's going to have a very specific job. Now, if I remember correctly, they can't auto-haul something that they would need to use in a later process. So, Dolchen, and you always want to go with the latest stage in it first, and then go down. So, Dolchen, you would make sake. You would deliver the sake there. you would use the sake still. And then lastly, you would auto hold this, but I think that's going to create a problem for his AI. Mew, we will have you. We actually need something. We need fuel storage now. Storage fuel right here. That'll work. Okay, so Mew, you start auto holding to that, then you auto hold to here. Then you use this and you auto hold to that. Now Hamu. You know, I guess we should get storage iron plates. We already have one of those. Storage ore, we don't have one of those. I don't think we have a storage stones either, but I mean, we can make one. And we have storage building materials. We don't have storage copper. This is just iron, right? Yeah. Where's the copper? Right there. Storage copper. Cool, we're gonna get that as well. Storage boxes, these are nice because you can load them up with things. No, 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 no. Not the entire outpost, just the camp bed. Okay, that's fine. Okay, pick that up, pick that one up, and okay. So storage boxes. This is nice because we can put multiple storage boxes down, and they can all be accessed differently. And okay, that is fine. Hamu's not doing anything yet, because Hamu doesn't have a job yet. So Hamu, because a lot of his stuff is just going to be auto hold there, auto hold to there, auto hold that, auto hold this. And that. And to here. And to there. And then once you've done all of that, then use, you know, that, this, that, this, and then this one. Now we need to make an iron plates thingamajig. Iron refinery. We're gonna put it here. That works. We should put iron plates right next to it instead of where it is. I only put it there because it was just a place to put it. How many iron plates are in here? None, actually, so that's useful. That's good. What are you doing with Ben? What the hell? Ah, interesting. You back around too, huh? Last time you got lucky. Had an ear infestation, so my balance was off. Just try me again. Fruit nuts. I don't want to hire you. I want to fight you when I hire you. Like what you saw last time, huh? You ever hire, but it's 5,000 cats. Nobody can handle this. How about 3,000? 3,000 cats trying to mug me off or something? 3,000 cats. Don't mug me off, from. Don't mug me off. Come back when you have the cats. Get over here. You again. What? Join us. 5,000 cats. Fine. Let's crack some skulls. Guess what? You're a farmer. Now get over there and do farming. Nuts. Alright, let's close that. Excellent. Right. So stubs, same as pretty much everyone. I need to really get the lights in here, so let's do that. So lights. Okay, that works. Yeah, there that is. Let's put this there. Right. Alright, those are all what you're doing, Stibs. As well as this and that. And then also using that. Excellent. That's iron plates. This is storage. Alright, so I'm gonna throw all of these back in there. Excellent. Right, and now let's go in here and just see what we can find. And we have all this to sell, which is great. So we're gonna go get rid of all this stuff. Okay, cool. All of that is done. So now, let's go. We don't have a disguise, right? He has a little bit of one. He might get in trouble. He might have a bit of an issue, as they may say. So we're going to take that and give that to Beep. And that should be okay. We don't want to look like the Holy Nation. Because by doing so, we might get attacked. Okay, let's open this up. Go outside. Close that. These guys are all doing something, right? So, but not really. Alright. Let's head over to Shark. Okay, and you guys. This is very important. We're going to go mounted crossbow. We're just going to start putting these up here. So what do you want there? Okay, that should be okay. And also you guys man turrets whenever you don't have much else to do. Why did you move so slow? Oh, nice. We have our first set of hemp, which is nice. That means we can make a lot of that. I mean, it's kind of weird because he's working on that. So what happens if we cancel that? No, I guess not. Alright, Stebbins. Here's your primary jobs then. You're going to auto-haul to that. And to that. And we're actually going to put that above most things. Really? Is it just not carved, I guess? Oh, I see what's happening. We have power now, don't we? Yes. That's what's happening. We put it in here. Nice. Okay. Well, now that we have power. Torch post. We're going to put torches next to our next to our stock of fuel. You know, always a great idea. What could go wrong? I mean, come on, think about it. Okay, he is engineering. Nice. Okay, we are in... Dang, sure. Yeah, red sabers. That's fine. Let's not fight those guys, because we don't need to. Alright, let's go over to the bow. We're going to need to buy a lot of food. Alright, sounds good. Cool, let's trade. I want to sell you all of this stuff. let's sell them all that. Very nice. Get rid of this Paladin's Cross. Don't worry, they really don't care at all. They're just saying it's stolen? Cool. Sounds good. And now let's go jump, people. Beep. Who are you going to go fight? Alright, who's Beep after? Excellent. Get them. Join in on the battle. Yes, that's fine. Thanks for the money. I mean, I could potentially use you. You are human, right? Yeah, I think so. Grievous, go pick them up. While I go sell all their stuff. I don't want too many humans, though. Too many humans means too many mouths to feed. Too many mouths to feed means we don't get anything done. He's protecting allies. Go ahead and throw them on the ground. Where's Beep? Beep is somewhere. Nice. Beep, where are you? What are you doing? Excellent. Good. Assist in the slaughter. Ah, we got really jacked up by somebody. Nice. Alright, what are we doing? We're medicing. Nice. Gives us a little bit of medicing skills. Uh-oh. What is it? Swamp raptors. Yeah, it's getting really jacked up. The door is about to collapse, though. Let's close that door. There are so many of them. Hamu, you don't want to fight those. Hamu, run. Dog. Get off my goddamn fire! That's right. Tell him. Alright, so we're gonna have everyone come in there. Hamu. We're gonna have you run. Well, he's out. He is down for the count. Alright. Pick a random bed and lay down. Assuming there's a bed available. Oh. Bad. What? Alright then. Here's the plan. We are going to go over to the dancing skeleton. These guys continue to fight. Okay, he's not gonna die anytime soon, so it's not a big deal. Unless they start eating him, at which point it will be a big deal. These guys are getting nice target practice. Okay, they're probably going to get stuck in our base. Nice. Here are the dancing skeleton guys. I guess most of them have been defeated already. Oh, nice. You got patched up. How about you don't do that? Okay, how about you go grab some building supplies and then go repair this wall. That would be nice. Assuming you can repair this wall. It's not that one. Huh, weird. Can you repair it for me? What? Oh, right. Okay, I see. Yeah, that works. That works for me. Alright, it's gonna fix this. That works. Yes, I know. They're all the workers are set to engineer, actually. Except for Stubbs. We need to set him to engineer, actually. Then we needed some robots. We need to get some skeletons. That will be our turret guards permanently. So workers don't have to do it. Alright, so that's getting taken care of. Alright, who are these now? Oh, it's that Countess, that's fine. Oh, they're shooting at that guy. Oh no, Hamu! Run! So you don't get shot. Yeah, that works. Alright. Keep at it. Alright, that's good. Okay, fantastic. We should have someone be set to... So these guys all make rancid meat. So that can be a problem. Okay, so we're going to need someone who does leather. Well, who loots enemies. Doesn't look like we have leather yet. We're probably out of... There we go. That works. Excellent. Okay. So we're all asleep. That's good. Our actual soldiers are all asleep. You use this. And then you three, let's have you go in there. Right. Muir, use this one. Amu, use that one. And Stubbs, use that one. Now, okay, I need to make sure I get them first aid kits from the general store. as our gremlin Grievous. Knows what he does this thing. Man, there's so many enemies fighting right now. Okay. What do you got? We need to go to the travel store instead. That works. Alright, to the travel store we go instead. It's right here. What are they fighting anyway? Oh, stuff. Yeah, that didn't actually have what I thought it would. Maybe we go. Well, yeah, it sort of has it. Good enough. Not what I want, but it'll do. Right. So let's run back to town. Yeah, so we are going to become enemies with all the major factions. With both the big three. We're already enemies with the Holy Nation, we're enemies with the UC, we need to become enemies with the Shek, then we are going to become allies with the rebel factions, and because we have raid size set to max and frequency set to max, we are probably going to be having like constant fights outside of our base eventually. So I'm just seeing if we can do that. Then we are going to probably kill the Holy Phoenix, destroy the UC in a way that lets the rebels get the most territory, kill Catlon, and most importantly, we won't be using any heavy infantry, so we're only going to be using ninjas, and they will only be using katanas. We can use turrets, though. That is fine. So no, like, crossbow cheese of everything. Mostly a friend of mine told me that beating the game with katanas was impossible, and I'm going to prove him wrong. Even though they're not great. Like, a katana playthrough is literally you rush weaponsmithing to be able to make toppers, and then you just make, like, Edge 2 or Edge 3 toppers if you have the mod, and you outfit all your dudes with toppers. And that's pretty much your in-game. Because the skeleton smiths don't sell toppers, you would have to instead use... what is it? Come on, guys. You would instead have to use Modachi until you can get toppers. But that's sort of a slightly later phase than where we're at right now. We just have to survive until then. Okay, so they're all off to do their thing. Doc Chung is researching because he didn't have anything else to do. And we're on the way. Yeah, overall it should be pretty fun. It should be pretty good. Alright, we need to go recruit some skeletons and produce enough money through sake sales that we don't die. Now, of course, our ninjas can just head over to... Oh yeah, that's right. We need to put these... Oh yeah, you can grab them super, super early. Oh yeah, we're gonna grab Sadnail, we're gonna grab Burn. Those guys are just free. Yeah, I have a friend who doesn't necessarily understand the game's major mechanics. Well, it isn't that he doesn't understand the game's major mechanics. It's that he is very, very much in the realm of like a D&D min-maxer. And I tried explaining it to him. How katanas work in Kenshi is sort of an inverted bell curve, right? So this is going to be left for you guys. So it starts off really good in the early game. Katanas are amazing in the early game because Dex is so hard to raise. Then by the time you get to the mid game, well, you're kind of... Oh, I was a forever DM. I just don't have time for it anymore. By the time you get to the mid to late game-ish, by the time you get to the mid game, almost everything you're fighting has armor, and most people don't make their own weapons, so Nodachi are their primary weapons, unless you go kill that one guy and get a Medu, or how you pronounce it, topper, which is just great. So by that point, you sort of have this, you're at the bottom of the curve, right? And so people say, well, these things are garbage because they're hitting for nothing, or they're fighting skeletons with armor on and they're really hitting for pretty much absolutely nothing at that point. What they don't realize, though, is that with any kind of Dex dedicated weapon, there's a super end game. And the end game there is you lose both your arms and put masterwork skeleton arms on them, and you wear assassin's rags, and that makes your dexterity, when you max it out eventually, go up to 186, which means your Nodachi is, which means your topper is hitting for like 200. I think it is. It's 200 something. Most other weapons at that point are hitting for like 300. But the thing is, that's also when the katana does its double strike. But the other thing is, you're going to hit like 2-3 times with a topper before the enemy gets to do anything. So it's just nuts. There's also this mechanic where if you are fast enough, if a character's, I think their defense speed, their block speed is fast enough, they can do a block, screw it up, and then do another block, and then maybe another block, so long as the enemy's attack, I believe it's how it works, is so long as your block rate can be divided by, your block rate is divisible by the enemy's attack speed. So if the enemy's attack speed is 100, is 1, and your block speed is 3, you roll 3 blocks. And if you roll a successful block, which is actually incredibly common in Kenshi, because you have a base 70% block chance, if your attributes are all the same, then the character doesn't roll again; they just block the attack. So you have this thing where, because katanas are so fast, and because it's, yeah, like martial arts is nuts. It's like, I think doesn't Ten Fist hit for like 200 with armor, which is ridiculous. Like he just punches somebody and they explode. Okay, so all these guys have that now. Cool. And they all have food. We killed a bunch of these, so let's go harvest. We do want these. Yeah, the maths are actually really nice. What I did was I took the spreadsheet that exists for all the weapons and I multiplied in damage reduction. Well, that's the thing, right? So here's one of the realities, right? It isn't that you necessarily like hate or dislike or whatever math. It's more that how math was presented to you academically was terrible. It's that you had an incompetent math professor or incompetent math teacher. Like, that's really what it boils down to. So it's because there were types of math you liked doing, right? Like real world applicable maths, that, tactical maths or whatever you call it. So like those make sense, right? Um, I've always found that's what one of the major issues are with anything like that, whether it's math, physics, or writing or anything. It's like, here's what the objective is, so let's do the objective and let's figure that out, instead of just like, oh man, like what is it, like the cubed root or something, and having to remember that crap. So, so I think you're better at math than you think. The long roundabout way of saying it. Okay. Let's drop off everything we don't need. Oh yeah, let's put these in there. Then we'll put that away. But yeah, I've heard Ten Fist hits like a truck. I've never actually killed Ten Fist. Mainly because I just didn't see the point. I mean, why would you kill one of the good guys? Though Ten Fist is probably just crazy at this point. Yeah, doesn't he just like one-shot people? Isn't that Ten Fist the whole thing? Like you have to kill him really fast. This is probably okay. He needs one eventually. Yeah, this works. Alright, so the ninjas are going to go all the food. And just, actually, we're gonna need one of those. Yeah, Callan is like 120 storm pearls, yeah. Okay, there we go. Beep, let's go and start getting all this. Yeah, I actually shot a video and sent it to my friend with a maxed out character using, like, I'm using the Nodachi you get from Shade? Yeah, I think it's Shade. A leader of the Skin Bandits. And killing all the Storm Thralls and then killing Catlon without a rest. It's like, yeah, they can barely hurt you. And when your dex is high enough, not your dex, your, yeah, if he hits you, you're pretty much dead. And yeah, and just everything. It's so fun. Oh, hello. I'm the caravan boss. Let's have someone who doesn't have a build inventory talk to you. That's fine. Doc, go say hello to this guy. All of you. We give you a good price, human. Human. Okay. Well, we don't have a lot of money. Cotton doesn't really grow here. And he doesn't have anything we actually need. Human. Let's take that, because we do kind of need those. Alright, Doc. This is very important. Put them in there first. Excellent. Alright, no worries. He probably needs to auto-halt at that. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that, like, the skeletons are really, really powerful, so some people just don't play as them. Because they're really strong. I don't know if that's true, but some people don't play as them because they think they're really strong. Alright. Amu, what are you doing? Oh, gotcha. Right. What is this? Who are you guys? Oh, tech hunters. You guys can leave, that's fine. What are they? What? Nani? What are you doing? Oh no, what? What are you guys... Why are you fighting them? Stealing from the hive. dude, like the first and second empires are both super like interesting. The whole the whole point of like we don't even know if the first empire actually fell apart because it's a like it clearly has mega structures, right? And so this is on a moon, so this probably isn't their home planet. So so the first empire is probably still doing just fine somewhere, right? Oh, food isn't really a problem. Like you should be able to grow massive amounts of food. Like the thing that sort of like the thing that kind of annoys me about Kenshi is that like food is super scarce in this game, like to a degree. But you have this area of the swamps where you could just like take literally this huge swath of land, make it heavily protected, and farm the hell out of it, and like make just outrageous amounts of rice, turn that all into meals, and like feed everyone. Like Kenshi, to me, in a way, like I understand where they're coming from. Like the current Phoenix is a complete idiot. He's a crazy fanatic, and so because he's a crazy fanatic, he's sullied relations with the UC. The Shek are basically Klingons, so they just want to fight everybody anyway. But like you could still negotiate with that to a degree. Like it doesn't necessarily make sense to me if you think about it from a let's ally ourselves to the end of taming this wilderness, like eliminating all the big things, eliminating all the major threats to humanity, Shekanity, Hyvanity, whatever, and like taming this island or continent that we're on, and then go back to your feuds. That's fine after that, but it would be incredibly easy for nations to do that. Oh, I know, right? Like if you think about it, like the first Phoenix is probably going to be some war hero, right? He's going to be like pulling people from the brink of destruction, the brink of annihilation, and pulling them into this single country. And the thing is, because of where Armor Master is seated, it's entirely possible that the first Phoenix had no problem with skeletons. It's entirely possible. He just wanted to stabilize the area and keep everyone alive. And whoever wanted to help with that was fine. Because you can ally, because if you're skeletons, you can ally with the Holy Nation, and they don't care that you're a skeleton anymore. So it's entirely possible. And there's also no freaking way that the Holy Nation doesn't know about Armor King, or whatever his name is. Yeah, I think it's Armor King. There's no way they don't know about him. None. So, I mean, he's been there for what, 1,000 years? So, like, there's a lot of things that don't make sense, but there's a lot of things that are just. But I mean, you can get around those things. Just say, well, it's a gameplay contrivance, or it's something that doesn't really matter. Like the Sheks and no, yeah, Estad is the most sane leader of the faction right now. Like Tengo's a man-child. He's just a spoiled noble. Um, the only problem for Estada is that she literally, I mean, well, not literally, but she's figuratively a Klingon, right? So, and the only reason that she's being reasonable is because the Shek Kingdoms, she realizes that the Shek are going to go extinct if they keep doing what they do, right? Possibly. Possibly. I'm hoping that the Holy Nation is more like it wants everyone, who wants to come in so they can all survive. I'm hoping the Holy Nation is supposed to be the stabilizing element. And then over 1,000 years, it just became extremely radicalized because the Holy Phoenix is effectively the Pharaoh. He's effectively God. So if he says no skeletons, then no skeletons. If he says no hivers, then no hivers. If he says no Shek, then no Shek. Right? Like, give the Holy Nation a couple 1,000 years, and they'll say no Scorch Ladders. My assumption is that hybrid queens are like flat out immortal, but they're so inhuman that they don't think in terms of mortality. Plus, they're mechanical, right? Um, my assumption about Shek is that they probably live about the same lifespan as humans, if allowed to live their full lifespan, but because they're basically, Klingons and Vikings sort of mixed together, and that they want to not die a straw death, they never get there. That's my assumption. Yeah, right, right. Because it's supposed to be after the Second Empire, right as the Second Empire is falling. So we're going to see a lot of established areas, right? And then we're going to see things fall apart. But like I seriously think that when we look at this continent we're on, like these guys could ally. The smallest one is the Shek kingdoms, and that's just because they just throw themselves and die, right? They just have to. They need to go fight and die, but they're such good warriors. Is Yeah, right. So that's the thing, though, right? Like, it's the first colonies of Kenshi. That means we're looking at the first empire, which means we're not looking at Kenshi anymore. We're looking at most likely people like with lasers. We're looking at Warhammer 40k tech. We're looking at like not people with like chain swords, but people with like literal weapons that would just destroy anything right now. So I don't know if like Kenshi. So Kenshi 3 is even more of a precursor to the first empire. Like we're looking at spaceships, we're looking at landing colonies, we're looking at all that stuff. But there's this thing though. If I remember correctly, there's a group around here that talks about how they landed on these shores. So that means there's another continent. So that'll probably be covered in Kenshi 2. If there's a Kenshi 3, there might not be. It would be interesting to see that if there's, say, a third empire. Like, what if the player character creating their like super empire, their super faction, is essentially the third empire, right? What if the player character does that, and then they create this, third empire which grows and then falls. Yeah, I think there's a much, much, much larger landmass here because I think people have calculated the size of the planet that Kenshi's on. Kenshi is taking the Kenshi's taking place on a moon. People have sort of tried to calculate the size of the planet, and then from that, I think they've tried to calculate the size of the moon that Kenshi's on, and like whether on Pangea essentially, or there is a lot more going on. There's a lot more to see, but I think there's a lot of cool stuff on the horizon for Kenshi. I really do. And if I remember correctly, people have brought up that the Hybers are probably aliens, like straight aliens. So they might have been called. Oh, that would be kind of interesting for the First Empire. Like, what if the Hybers were aliens, who were trying to colonize this planet. The first empire shows up, they're colonizing it. So the Shek are called enforcers by the skeletons. So what if they are like your heavy infantry, Scorchlanders are your range special infantry, Greenlanders are sort of your support people. Like that could be interesting. If you think about it, it makes perfect sense to have you like your Shek with big chain machine guns or something. Um, yeah, there you go. So like you have Shek who are like your big heavy units. You have Scorchlanders who are your assassins and your snipers and stuff like that. Your marksmen. So, kinds of cool stuff. But it could also just be that there's a continent that's just filled with titans. Skeleton titans. That the players literally couldn't do anything against. Right now. Play cue Attack on Titan music. Yeah, so the first empire might have like conquered the queens. They might have conquered the hivers, and the compromise for not like just exterminating them was to like control them in some way, because we sort of yeah 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 the hives are slaves essentially. I think they're like a workforce at this point. So there are a few theories if we look at that. It'd be an extinction level threat most likely. So when we look at the hives, it's possible that they might have been created off-world or they're completely alien species and they were just used as workers. Because you could potentially just yeah, right. King's just a maintenance bot. He's not a combat robot. The hivers might have been intended to just be dropped onto a planet where they essentially terraform the place, and then humans show up. And Shek is more specialized, like police forces, stuff like that. So there's a whole lot that could be going on. But let's see. Uh, yeah, the skeletons they could be. So the thing that's so like sad about the skeletons and Kenshi, tragic potentially even, is that they do actually literally have good intentions. Like Catlon when he shows up, he has good intentions. He wants to create the second empire to preserve organic life. Like that's the thing. Like he doesn't hate you. He doesn't want to hurt humans. He doesn't want to hurt the Shack or the Hivers. Like he literally just wants to add order so that everything stays together. So like literally that thing I was talking about where it's like we're going to tame this continent, destroy everything that is hostile or dangerous to organic life. We're going to kill off all the big things. We're going to destroy all the leviathans. We're going to do all this. We're going to do all that. That's probably what the Second Empire did, just to keep everyone safe. And then over time, they just became more and more repressive and, well, oppressive, I should say. And